Uno for Xbox 360 is one of the most iconic games to ever release on the Xbox Live Arcade, outshined only by titles such as Minecraft, maybe Plants vs. Zombies, or Hexic HD, simply looking at the most iconic XBLA games. And while this isn't my favorite Xbox arcade game, I think we can all agree that booting this game up will result in a jolly good time. Developed by Carbonated Games and published by Microsoft in 2006, this is a wonderful translation of the well-loved card game Uno. I've played it, you've played it, most people have either played this game or are at least familiar with it. And I even have a Zelda Uno card deck that I bought at GameStop. But that is not the topic of today's video. Anyways, the video game Uno plays pretty much like it does in real life. Every game begins with each player receiving 7 cards, and in the main single-player mode, you face off against 3 AI opponents in a free-for-all.
Free-for-all. Dominate the battle space.
From here, the goal of the game is to be the first person who gets rid of all their cards, and you do this in a number of ways, and each person takes turns placing their card and drawing a new one if they can't use any of their cards in hand. Now, for actually playing your cards, you can play a card if the color, or number, matches whatever the last played card was, if that makes sense. Like, if the last person placed a blue 5, you can either put down another blue card or another 5. If you don't have one of these, you draw a new card, which you can play if you draw a usable card. But if you don't pull anything useful, the next person gets their turn. Now, there are 2 exceptions here, which is being able to place the color-changing cards to, change the color of the card that is required. One such card is the wild card, which only changes the current color, and it has a variant, which allows you to alter the current card color to your liking, while also forcing the next person to draw 4 cards. And there are a few other special cards, like the Draw 2, which makes the next person draw 2 cards, or the Skip card, which skips the next player's turn, and finally, the Reversal card, which turns around the current order in which players take turns. Now, I must note that Xbox 360 Uno is a bit different than the standard Uno that we've all played with friends and family, as most of us play Uno until somebody runs out of cards and is the winner. Well, the 360 version has a point system, in which it's actually the first person to reach 250 points, and to use all their cards first to win the game. Not a big deal really, although I don't fully know how the point system works. But as long as you understand how to play this game, you're gonna have a blast. Anyways, shifting back on track, I reckon that I should cover some more rules as for explaining gameplay. When someone is down to their last card, they must say Uno, which is 1 in Spanish. And if a player forgets to do this, another player can mention this, and force the prior player to draw 2 cards. But if no one notices, the first dude gets away scot-free. And on the topic of challenging, this can also be done in regard to wild cards. You see, these cards can only be used if the person dealing it has no playable cards. Like, at all. Except for that wild card. Now, if somebody uses a wild card, another player can challenge this, and say that the dealer of the color changer has another playable card. But if the challenger is wrong, they gotta pull 2 cards. For this reason, I very rarely risk calling a bluff when the wild cards were in play, and I want to say that is the gameplay explained as best as I know how. Of course, I must note that this version has a team mode, where there are 2 teams of 2 people trying to reach the 250 points together. But other than this, it plays the exact same as every man for himself Uno. And this title also has a house rules option and online multiplayer. I want to say that the MP servers are still up, but my Game Pass is currently expired, so no comment there. But Uno does have online leaderboards, which is good. Graphically, I love this title's cartoon look, and the sound effects and the chill OST are great as well. Now, I must add, as notes before my final grade, that this is a great title for beginner gamers, thanks to its super easy controls and its laid-back leisurely pace. Also, this is a Xbox 360 avatar game, meaning you can play it as your avatar, or you can display your gamer pic instead, whichever you want, but I play this as a avatar game, and I want to say this was the first Xbox 360 avatar game that I played, something that blew my mind in middle school, and I remember rushing to play Uno after unlocking and equipping the Arkham Origins Deathstroke costume after unlocking it, and being in awe thanks to playing Uno as Deathstroke. Good times, Joe. Anyways, I think to give Uno a 9.9 out of 10 by my grade scale. I think this title could have been improved with some sort of a local co-op mode, but other than that, this is a very solid video game, and I personally own it via the XBLA Hits Compilation 1. Now, for a bit of a footnote apart from my review, this title has some pretty chill achievements if you just want to relax and up your gamer score, so a plus there. As far as similar titles that I could recommend, I'd say Monopoly on 360. That is an amazing video game adaptation of a classic board game. Or, if you're just looking for another super laid back and a very simple 360 game, maybe Pac-Man, or possibly Bejeweled. And that is my review itself for today. Thanks for sticking around and for putting up with my bad voice, it means a lot. For those new here, I largely review and discuss Xbox 360 games, so feel free to sub if that sounds interesting, and follow me on GameRam for hints at upcoming vids and behind the scenes stuff. Also, feel free to comment Xbox 360 review requests, although please note that I can never promise a requested video. Anyways, as for our Bible verse of the day, I read John 3:3 NIV. Jesus replied, "Very truly I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again." And like always, my good friends, none of my content is made by robots. I write my own scripts, make my own thumbnails, do my own editing, and my own recording. Keep YouTube human and only watch man-made videos. And I never give consent for my likeness and voice to be copied and altered by robots in any way. God bless, take it easy, go play some Uno, have a good one, peace. Well, the 360 version has a point system, and when it's from here, the goal of the game is to be the first person